So Eastern Illinois coming in 34-19 on the season. Northwestern 38-11. OVC tournament runners up 3 different times. Taylor Pritchard fouls off the first pitch, sophomore, 349 hitter.
And against lefty pitching, though, just 9 plate appearances. Hasn't seen a lot of lefty pitching, batting only .222 against a lefty. Certainly a different look out of the hand when it's delivered. A curveball will cut away from you as a lefty. There's that changeup. Daniel Williams delivering that early. He set the tone early to keep these batters off balance.
Pritchard, 17 multi-hit games on the season. Had an 18-game hit streak at one point. 9th in the OVC in average. For the sophomore from Liberty, Texas. Okay, so take me through the mentality of Williams in the circle as we look at this strikeout pitch, but playing in front of your home crowd, first game of the NCAA tournament, you're hosting. How do you set the tone?
I think you do what Danielle Williams does best. She's happy to be here at home. She's happy to win for her team. That is certainly something that in the circle that she has done so well, and she's fresh. She's played about half the innings this year than she's played last year, not because she's not healthy, just because they've got kind of a staff of pitchers. Lauren Boyd has taken a lot of the innings away from Danielle Williams in an attempt to keep her fresher here in the postseason.
Ball in the afternoon sky, out to left. Zadok there to make the grab for out number 2. Good weather, low 70s. A little bit of cloud cover here in Evanston. Started the day out where you thought rain may be a concern, but that is blown out of the way. Weather respected the fact that we've been waiting a long time to get this thing started, and figures to be beautiful across the course of the weekend. See the defensive lineup for Northwestern. Rachel Kaufman.
This is the changeup that is so dangerous. Look at how far ahead Kaufman is on the swing. If you can't identify it coming out, it's so hard to hit. Why not throw it again here if you're Danielle Williams?
Kaufman, senior from Seymour, Indiana, began at Land Lake College.
And again, this is how you set it up. When you have a great changeup, you're able to throw it back to back like that. And it was a better balance by Kaufman, but still ahead of it.
Rudd nearly frozen behind the dish for a moment, trying to frame that pitch up. Goes for ball 2, 2-2 to count. Strike number 3, great start for Danielle Williams.
Standing bat speed. You'll see her bat speed. The ball flies off her barrel.
In the circle from Smiths Grove, Kentucky, junior Olivia Price. 16-4 on the year, 1.70 ERA, 128 innings pitched. How does she do it?
Well, Price has a fastball only and a changeup. The changeup that she's learned this year to be more effective. So it's going to be about pinpoint control and making sure that that changeup is effective.
OVC Pitcher of the Year. Skylar Schellmeyer will begin things. 333.
Schellmeyer can be so effective when she drives it down that left field line. True slapper that can drop it in to shallow left field. And also utilize this ground. This field is a hard surface that you utilize if you're a slapper.
Kate Drohan, head coach for Northwestern. The team 6 for 6 all time when it comes to advancing in regionals, played here at the J. Each instance under Coach Drohan. 22, 19, 8, 7, 6, and 5. 20-3 all-time record in the NCAA regional round when playing at home. Wildcats of the Kentucky nature already into the 1-0 portion of the bracket here in Evanston. Winner of this one faces off against them. That pitch fouled back.
Really great battle here. Schellmeyer's seen a lot of pitches. Price doing a good job hitting her corners and keeping the ball low in the zone. She typically gets about 63% ground balls, which is a really great ratio to get your defense to do the work and make the plays behind you.
On the ground, trying to leg it out, does indeed. Schellmeyer safe at first.
Gonzalez did a good job trying to go back and make the throw on that, but going away from first base, and it was just too hard of an attempt, but great throw, good speed from Schellmeyer. She hustles down. That's part of her game, is just beating the ball to first base, and a great job by the leadoff Schellmeyer to set the tone here in the first inning.
49th hit of the season, leads the team. .302 average for the freshman.
Robinson has really been solid in that 2 position. She's kind of one of the freshmen that has really performed well. You see the defense. Outfield playing pretty deep. I think there's some speed on this Northwestern lineup. You got to be careful.
Saplinski behind home for Eastern Illinois.
You've got to work to make those quick plays.
Robinson from Indianapolis, Indiana. We list her as a freshman for Northwestern in their notes. They list them as first-year players. Punches are out. Robinson sits down. The strikeout pitch from Price.
A beautiful pitch here, just too far in the zone. That's a changeup that delivers the top right part of the zone. Too far in the zone for Kansas Robinson to lay off of. Strike 3 called there, a huge out by Price. Good time to mix that changeup.
Bring up Jordan Rudd, who looks at the first pitch across for ball 1. Senior from Greenwood, Indiana. 309 hitter with 8 home runs, 41 runs batted in. 9 doubles, 1 triple. Runner going. Go, not in time, in safely is Schellmeyer.
Yeah, with Schellmeyer on that base path, there's no doubt that you've got to look to see her steal, especially when Robinson gets that called strikeout. A good attempt here by Saplinski to try to make that throw on target, just too late.
18th stolen base on 22 attempts for Schellmeyer on the year. Ball into the ground, trickling, stays fair. Spinning like a top on the chalk. Rudd will be safe at first. Over to third is Schellmeyer.
You find any way you can to put the ball in play. Jordan Rudd is a power hitter. Look where this ball spins and rolls. Looks like it's going foul. Goes back in on that line. An absolutely unfortunate spin. As Grover, I think, made the smart move to just watch it go foul.
In basketball, they talk about home rims. Here you get home chalk.
Now first and third situation for Northwestern. Looking to get that first run scored, create havoc on that base path for a team that maybe has a little bit of nerves here in their first NCAA appearance.
Hannah Katie. His indifference from behind home as Rudd just scurries over to second. She kind of paused about 10 feet from the bag and thought, hey, you gonna throw it?
Yeah, I mean, she's trying to get into a rundown, trying to get a situation to force a throw that allows Schellmeyer to advance, but Eastern Illinois doesn't bite.
Katie, a 271 hitter on the year, 35 hits, 11 doubles. That the team high, 26 runs batted in, 6 home runs.
Beautiful change up there, really keeping the batters off balance. You see the defense moved in, looking to make that throw home if Schellmeyer goes. We've seen how beautifully Price so far has been able to mix the changeup with the fastball effectively for her to get ahead in the counts against these Northwestern batters.
Weekly back up the middle, some traffic working through the diving back to second. Rudd, but the first run across, and Schellmeyer. Wildcats strike first.
Katie absolutely handcuffed this on the inside part of the hands. Just lifts to second base. You see Rudd trying to get back. As that one drops in. Nobody able to field it. Gonzalez too far away from it. And you're right, one scores. The Cats have a tendency to really connect and pass the bat well. So if you let them in too much, it can be dangerous here for Eastern Illinois.
Tough play there for Gonzalez trying to work her way through. So teams this year making their first NCAA tournament appearance: Charlotte, Eastern Illinois, George Mason, NC Central, UNC, Northern Colorado, Northern Kentucky, and Omaha. You remember your first NCAA tournament? How'd you feel? Where was it?
We hosted.
Okay.
It was before regionals and super regionals, so it was when it was all together, and we lost to Cal, believe it or not. When Courtney Scott, now Courtney Deifel at Arkansas, was doing her thing at the plate, now showing her team how to do it. She gets it done, though.
Nikki Cochran, the senior from Downers Grove, Illinois. .331 her average on the year. 44 hits across 132 at-bats, 9 of those doubles. 30 runs batted in, 3 home runs. And Cochran, one of the 2 players we sat down with yesterday, herself and Meg Nelson, and talked about the veteran aspect. These felt like players that were very much experienced and knowing what they were about to enter upon, and sights set on even bigger and better than what they've done. 0-2 back up the middle, hot shot fielded by the pitcher Price, who goes over to third to get the out. So down is Rudd, second out of the inning.
A lot of athleticism there from Price. She looked like she was going first, then made the decision to third. You see, usually when this ball comes back at you and you're ready to make the throw, it's hard to turn and make the throw to get the leadoff, but a good bullet As you see, she resets her feet and makes the throw to get Rudd out. Rudd probably should have slid. Make it a little bit of a closer play there.
Aforementioned Angela Zedak, we talked about in the starting lineups. Senior from Chicago, Illinois. .319 average on the year for Zedak, up high from Price.
You can see that those fastballs, in spite of the fact that they might not have the same kind of movement that Northwestern has seen, they come in a little bit flatter, just no movement on a fastball, that she hits her spots. Price hits her spots so beautifully, low on the corners, and does not give these batters a good chance to really square up on a good pitch.
The dribbler to short, long throw is in time from Gonzalez, but Northwestern on the plate, Shellmeyer. Hashtag mayhem.
Hashtag is mayhem. What's great about that event too is that it feels like the World Series at the beginning of the year, and it's really an opportunity for teams to get their RPI up because you're bringing so many good teams together. Northwestern obviously getting a seed is part because of their RPI. Beautiful changeup.
Also, too, you get to go down to Clearwater in February, which for Northwestern and other teams, you know, may not get that great weather. That was one of the things so interesting for this Northwestern team. We showed you just 11 games that they've played at home, so the value getting to play in front of their home stand. Williams, third strikeout thus far.
Williams has thrown almost 2 changeups to every batter so far. There's one, back to back. Another changeup, a little bit lower in the zone, but living in the heart of the strike zone. Forces you to swing at it, but if your timing's off, no chance to hit it. This Panther team, I think the big key has got to be go and attack some of those early pitches. If Williams goes and tries to deliver a strike with her fast stuff, in your first pitch, that might be the best pitch you'll see.
Siplinski, a bloop. Over the head of Cochran at first base and in. Safely.
Siplinski, good job. She sees a ball here and then delivers an opposite side of the field hit, just on a pitch that's up in the zone, but looks to attack and finds a way to drop it in. Great piece of hitting there, good quality at bat by Siplinski.
Northwestern an 8-2 advantage all time in this series. Team's last meeting coming back in 1998. Eastern Illinois won that 3-2. Morgan Lewis, senior from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Hitting .444 over the last 5 games. Weekly to third, but in time to beat the throw is Lewis.
Yeah, the defense was playing it in a little bit, but I didn't think enough for somebody like Lewis with good speed. Uses the hard surface to take a great hop on the hit. Just good bounce on that, which is enough and slow enough to use her speed to beat it out. Hannah Katie not charging as quickly as she probably should to make that play.
So 2 well-placed balls for Siplinski. Up the right field line, and then Lewis down the third base line. Williams, who started off cruising along, good momentum. Lauren Boyd, pinch runner. Take the spot of Siplinski at second. DeSantini, excuse me, 15 for Northwestern. Looking at the wrong roster.
Santini. Now batting number 4.
Santini, the pinch runner.
This is a great opportunity for some RBI for Makia here.
Marama from Wellington, New Zealand. Strike 3 gets you looking.
And that's the danger of a Danielle Williams. You've got to take your hacks. You've got to get the barrel on the ball. This is just a great changeup on the outside corner. Makia can't pull the trigger.
Shortstop, Brianna Gonzalez.
So 2 down, 2 on. 8-hole Brianna Gonzalez. Starter at short. Sophomore from Huntington Beach, California. .235 hitter on the year, but is taking a pitch to the body, hit by a pitch 17 times. EIU record. It was 12th in the NCAA.
If you have batters that are not afraid to take that pitch, to be up on the chalk, hanging over that plate, Danielle Williams too has a tendency to hit.
As she does have a tendency with that. Their approach. Also, Coach Johan, as to what their goals were, said after they had secured the Big Ten regular season title, they wanted it. It was really Coach that wanted it as well to get that tournament title. They won in spectacular walk-off fashion. Nelson, the senior, .226 hitter. I think it's safe to say a special group. A lot of these upperclassmen players have been here a long time and could feel their pride in this university, this program, but they have a final chapter to write. Thankfully for them, they get to be the authors.
I think this is a team that, you know, if they have a goal, if they seek something, they know how to achieve it. They know how to stay in the moment and focus on the one game that they're in.
Softly to second. Easy for the out.
Bryce has done a good job handcuffing these Northwestern batters so far, getting the ground balls, getting the bloopers. Even the hit from Hannah Katie was a blooper that kind of jumped in, and that's just hard speed right on your hands. Good placement of your pitch. And if you're this Northwestern team, you got to look at that fastball and look to drive it opposite side of the field, pick a side of the plate, look to drive it.
You talked the importance for Price, location, just a limited repertoire of pitches. Continuing to spot the ball well as she does there to the freshman Nader.
When you and I were talking, it is absolutely impressive for a pitcher to live with a fastball changeup in this day and age. I mean, so many pitchers have backdoor this, backdoor that, you know, 3 different speeds, and that's what you have to do to be effective. When you can just hit your corners and hit your spots and keep it simple, I mean, it's something that I appreciate, that you just trust your stuff and trust how you're going to do it and have that mindset to be better than the batter regardless of what you're delivering.
Price didn't even pitch throughout high school. It wasn't until she got on campus and had thrown a bullpen that coaching staff felt, hey, we have something to work with here in the circle and have continued to develop her. Help of her father. Nader flies out to center. Little worm from Pritchard to signal in 2 out. A lot of action going on across all 16 sites this weekend. Don't miss a minute of it. 7 innings live on the ESPN app. Every game, every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series. Today through Sunday. You have to, if you're sitting at home, tweet at us. Show us your setup if you got multiple viewing screens.
Gotta have at least 2 TVs.
At least.
A couple computer screens, maybe an iPad or 2.
Right. Get your full fix. Is this the best weekend of the year for softball junkies, or is it next weekend?
I think this is the beginning of the next 3 weekends for softball junkies. I think, you know, this is where everybody ramps it up. They play a little bit different. You're looking for those Cinderella teams, those upsets. You become a fan of a team during the regular season, you're looking for them to go deep. It's just a fun time of year. 2
favorite parts is that season is so segmented. You have your pre-conference, preseason, as a lot of teams and coaches refer to it, before they get into conference. That's really the season, the familiarity of going up against historic conference foes. But then into the aspect postseason. Conference tournaments are nice. They're like a little appetizer. Always, for one-bid leagues, they're very important, as that's how you punch your ticket in the NCAA tournament, EIU. Case in point there. But then real season for teams, this is where you can write into the storybook. Then the other aspect, it's getting to tell the stories of every team, how they've gotten here and where they're at in their arc. For a team like Northwestern, with a veteran group that has been at this longer and they have experience in the NCAA tournament, what their greater goals are. It's just not enough to host. It's not enough to go on to super regionals in Oklahoma City. They want to go there. They want to win. Batter was called out of the box, so that's why Northwestern jubilantly running off of in the envy of pretty good pitcher in her own regard, and Jenny Ritter, 2-time All-American, national champ. This ball ripped back up the middle.
Yeah, I think that, you know, the 5 strikeouts so far into this game has been her benefit, but this is really where EIU needs to live. Attack the first pitch. Danielle Williams is notorious for bringing it in that zone, delivering a first pitch strike. Go and attack it. And force Williams to kind of throw something different, maybe to start with that changeup, mix it up a little bit.
3rd hit registered. So they have been able to get the barrel of the bat to the ball.
Yep, and just with that 1-run lead, I mean, you're in a situation here for EIU. Advance. Hanky, however you can. Got the top of your lineup up. 2nd time through. Now you can work to make little adjustments on what you saw.
Pritchard, one of those 5 strikeouts tallied thus far. Peel down to 3rd and did go. Count goes to 1-1. Warming up. It was a cool morning, but it's maybe it's just me. On the deck, trying to fight through the traffic over at 2nd as the runner crossing. Nieto does so in order to get Pritchard, both runners to advance. First out.
This is the best kind of weather in the Midwest, especially for the Big Ten. And something that Northwestern is really used to is some of that chillier weather, but today it turned out to be a beautiful day.
They're part of the reason why they can't play as many home games as some of the other squads. And I don't think Northwestern has the luxury of hosting a early season tournament, convincing, hey, Florida State, you want to come up to Evanston in February?
Right.
No, I'd rather go down to Clearwater.
Well, it's nice to see you take your coat off. The rest of us are wearing T-shirts. we talked with Grover, and I don't know how many times she said, I'm just shocked that I'm here right now in this moment, that I never thought this was a moment that could really be a real thing, and she has been so successful. Such a leader as just a freshman for this EIU team to get to this point.
It was the beauty of the spectrum of our game and of the development for players, for somebody like Kendall Grover. We talked to EIU right before the Northwestern group, and for them it was, they were just excited to be in front of us and chatting with TV folk, knowing the games were going to be on TV, but being here and just taking in the awe of the experience for a Northwestern group that has been here, done that, and just both sides of the spectrum to appreciate.
Well, sometimes there's some success in, you know, not knowing what you don't know.
Yep.
You know, you don't know how high energy and high stakes this feels, because right now you just are so excited that you got to this point. Next year, the focus will be getting back to this point.
Yeah, there's no nerves or anxiety. It's like getting on a roller coaster for the first time. You just do it.
You don't know what you're getting into.
Exactly. And then the second time you're like, well, I don't know. Well, that last drop
Precisely why I
so
stop
fun.
at one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out on roller coasters.
I'm with you there. Count 3-2, 1 out. Runner on second to Grover. This ball is in foul territory. It makes the grab coming from second, but tagging up to advance does Henke.
That was an interesting fly ball because it stayed fairly close to the infield, but as it trailed away from third base, it kind of opened up this opportunity for Henke to tag and go.
33, Rachel Kaufman.
Now here in the heart of the lineup for EIU.
Kaufman struck out first time up.
She has power to both sides of the field. It's a lefty, can deliver it left field or right field. Hit the pitch where it's delivered. Has not yet driven a pitch back up the middle against a lefty so far this season.
When you look at all this data that you get now, does it make you envious from your playing days, what pitchers have?
See, I was never a data person. I just wanted to go out there and throw. And so I actually never watched video even back then. Wow. But that's, again, going back to the old school. Like, I think I was
back
probably
when you had to
really
mail tapes to one another.
Yeah, put the VCR.
Yeah.
We had DVD.
Yeah.
But the point being is, like, to me, too much knowledge was giving them too much respect, and I really just wanted to focus on what I could do and trust my stuff, and know that even if my goal had always been, if I'm going to tell you I'm going to throw a drop ball, or I'm going to tell you I'm going to throw a curveball, that you're still going to miss it. You're still going to mishit it because my movement and my pitch is better, even when you know it's coming.
2-2.
Phenomenal block by Jordan Rudd. No doubt why she's considered the best catcher in the country. Has to keep this ball in front of her. Dangerous. And look how she just uses her hand to track it. Bare hands that. Anything you can to get your glove or your hand on the ball.
Love the point you just made, because you look at any great across any sport, you know what's coming. You know, when great teams in football, they want to run the ball. You know what play's coming.
Yep.
Basketball, when a player wants to get to their shot, you know what's coming.
Yep.
When Sue Bird, she's in her bag, you know what's coming. It's just, you can't stop it.
How do you take away analytics?
Huh?
You be better than even when they know it.
Yeah. And good today, great today. Better is Williams. Registers another.
Schellmeyer.
And it is imperative to have a solid pro level for this sport. I mean, to me, I feel like we are lucky in the sense that there's so many grad students that are still playing because of that COVID year. So we're seeing how great they've become because they're peaking. And college is not necessarily their peak. It shouldn't be, at least. And now they have an opportunity to play in a location, and they play out of their minds. I mean, it is ridiculous how well they play.
And the ability, we were talking yesterday, your experience to go play pro. You went to Japan, and I'm sure there's great benefits of that, but the ability to stay, that's not for everybody, going overseas.
No,
and,
it's lonely,
yeah,
honestly.
being in a foreign country, foreign language.
Fun. I mean, softball takes you great places, but it can be very lonely, and, you know, you're playing a different type of ball than you're usually used to seeing. I think the Japanese play a very different way of ball. So to go and know what you know and play at a high level against athletes that maybe were your nemesis in college and now your nemesis in pro ball.
On the ground. Chuckle because we talked about one no more than Garland Cooper, a legend for Northwestern, who may be out there watching, and the relationship between you two as you were foes, Michigan, Northwestern, across the years, but then playing together professionally. And that's a great evolution, one of them.
Yeah, I think when you hit the pro ball level, those who, you know, had your number, or maybe you had their number at times, like I went back and forth with Garland Cooper, the Northwestern-Michigan matchup, but that's who you want on your team after a while. You start realizing, oh, there's a reason why they're your nemesis. Maybe you should put them on your team. Yeah,
the reason you don't like them is you see so much of yourself in them.
They make you look bad.
Or you to them, vice versa. Kansas Robinson at the plate. Struck out, hard hit ball, out to center, going back. That one's gone. The freshman Robinson leaves the yard, 7th home run on the season.
And that first year for the Cats showing up big is Kansas Robinson. Just seeing this pitch up in the heart of the zone and lifting it over the fence. Price has done a good job keeping that ball down, but when it gets delivered a little bit higher, these Cats can take it yard. Robinson does just that. Puts another run on the board.
And you had mentioned it for Price. One of the intrigues would be second time through the order. Yeah. What would the adjustments be for Northwestern? It's another one, hard hit going back to right field at the track. Lewis there to make the grab.
I think the hard part, you know, again, of not having a depth of pitching, you know, I feel like, again, being old school, I have my limits where I think, you know, you can have up, down, left, right, maybe a changeup. And I know there's back doors and off speeds and all things like that. I think that when you only have a fastball changeup, you don't have a lot of depth to change and look a little bit different your second time through the lineup. You really have to work to maybe move that pitch just quarter of an inch further away. Introduce that changeup maybe a little bit more often to keep the batters off balance. If you get a Northwestern Wildcat team that starts attacking early pitches, like we just saw Robinson and Rudd do, the Rudds didn't go as deep, still delivering a ball deep into the outfield.
Katie had the RBI single first time up to bring home Shellmeyer for the first run of the ball game. Robinson plating the second via her solo shot.
I think sometimes when you don't have something in your repertoire to really go and deliver, you start getting a little too careful on your pitches, which is what we're seeing a little bit with Price here, getting behind on the count to Katie. I would trust that inside pitch. She did a great job handcuffing. A lot of these batters for Northwestern in the first inning, getting them to ground out or bloop pop fly. You can get them to really go for that. Catch them on the handle again. Could be a really effective pitch for Price.
3-1 pitch. talk with Coach Drohan when we come back. Her team leading 2-0, protecting their home dirt.
Fans be on the lookout for those NCAA teams.
Thoughts on what you've seen thus far from your team?
Well, I think our team came out, scored early, but I'd like to see us keep the pressure on here.
Coach, talk about it from your defense perspective. Danielle Williams, what she does best. What makes her so great in that circle?
Well, I think she's tough. I think she can spin the ball to all zones, and as you could see, she really trusts her changeup. But she's a great competitor, and I was really excited to get the ball today.
Coach, we appreciate you hosting us this weekend, and thank you for the time.
Thank you. Go Cats.
Off the top of the fourth inning for the Panthers.
See Williams, the 42 pitches, 3 innings, 6 strikeouts, no walks. For you, someone who went to a Big Ten school, you watch another team in the Big Ten and the success they've had over the years this year, especially. What's the respect you have for Northwestern, Coach Drohan, what they've done?
Well, I mean, I think on a Big Ten level, they have always been the one that you keep your eye on, that you pay attention to. I think, you know, obviously Michigan Northwestern has always been a big battle. But I think on a national scale, I think they're way underestimated. I think this is a team that understands how to win. They understand how to stay in a game, and they understand how to, at the end of 7 innings, come out with 1 run more than the other team. And they keep it as simple as they can. They get Ks like Williams, and they just have done a phenomenal job. I think one thing that Williams does so well is that she gets these strikeouts. Again, another changeup going up in that zone, but she gets these strikeouts, and she's resilient after hits. So if you look through the last couple innings, she did give up some hits, but what does she do? She answers back. She gets the quick out. There's never any pressing, never any concern. And that's with all of this defense, with all of this offense. You talked about how there's a walk-off at the end of the Big Ten tournament, Maeve Nelson coming through big, and somebody whose batting average is a little bit lower than has been in the past, and yet coming through big. And this is a 1 through 9 that just does it. They perform and they show up.
Williams, seasoned vet in the postseason as well. 95 total innings in postseason play coming into today's matchup.
And we've seen kind of the second time through this lineup that the introduction of that changeup, or how it's been utilized, has made Williams more effective, where you see EIU make some adjustments.
Shallow left, ranging in, diving to the deck. Zedek there to make the grab for our number 2.
We've seen some great diving catches today. Just some defense where you've gone all out to make the play. This one looked like it was going to drop in. Zedek gets her glove on it just underneath, all out, big-eyed, and just catching that ball to make a great defensive play.
Morgan Lewis.
Yeah, across both games, we've seen the outfielders making non-routine plays look routine.
You have to. You have to. This is the postseason. This is regionals. You have goals of getting somewhere. You've got to make outs that aren't routine. You've got to make the routine outs perfectly, and then you've got to find a way to make big outs like that too.
I was just going to say, I thought spoken like a pitcher that, it's like, yeah, you better catch every ball that's out there.
There's never a hole in my defense.
So after Sablinski is down after the fly out, Morgan Lewis, the batter at the plate for the Panthers.
You see Nader out in right field, how far she's shifting towards a right center. Schellmeyer in center shifted as well, and in the perfect place.
Right into her glove. 1, 2, 3 inning for Williams and the defense of Northwestern. This one, unfortunately, for one of those teams tomorrow, their season will end. 2 teams will see their season end tomorrow, but the Wildcats await the winner of this matchup that right now is 2-0 in favor of the Northwestern Wildcats here at the Sharon J. Drysdale Field. Runs came in the first and the third. Shellmeyer scoring in the first. Robinson, the solo shot. Stockburn reaches outside.
And this is the difference in Price's game this year versus last year, is that changeup that just tumbles low in the zone, take a little bit of speed off of it, and these Wildcats have really struggled to sit back. They've been fooled by it.
On the deck, 2-second, easy play. "16 sites across the country: Norman, Oklahoma, one of them, Knoxville, Tuscaloosa, Tallahassee, LA, Seattle, Palo Alto, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Durham, North Carolina, out your neck of the woods, Clemson, South Carolina as well, Athens, Georgia, Austin, Texas, my hometown, Evanston, Illinois, where we are at. 16 teams will advance for those super regionals. Winner of this one will face off against the winner of the Tuscaloosa regional. Alabama, the overall 5 seed, hosting the trio of visitors.
Credit to Price to get a couple more ground balls here. It's really kind of answering back after that home run from Robinson last inning. Has gotten 4 outs since then, just quick outs.
A couple balls that were up there from the game earlier today.
That is not a job I'd want to have.
You don't like heights?
Nope, I'm out on heights.
I'm with you there. This is the Big Cat ground bound region.
I'm a fan of my feet firmly planted on the ground.
Well, for one on the day is Nelson. Another ball on the ground. Price trying to field it. Had to work through Milkowski coming down from first. So on is Nelson with 2 outs.
It's a great job to take a look at the corners, see that they were playing back. Look how deep the corners were playing. So she goes and squares, runs half of the way with her bat, just trying to find a place to toss it, and still gets quickly down that line. Saplinski bobbles the ball just a bit. And Northwestern finds a way to get it done, whether it's a short ball, whether it's slapping, sack bunts, or the long ball. Well-rounded 1 through 9.
I get it now. I was wondering why the organ,
Vader.
First time I heard it, it didn't register, but we were doing other things. Nader flew out to center field. Recently saw Darth Vader in person out at Disney, California. Yeah, if you haven't been.
Place to be, huh?
The Star Wars experience is phenomenal. On the ground, gobbles up the short. So Gonzalez, ball jumps up and then loses the throw. It scurries out into right field.
Number 22, Grace Nito.
Runner going is Nader over to second. It's a 2 in scoring position.
Saplinski fakes the throw, but does not look to do anything. Grace Nito, whose batting average has been down just a little bit. You got 2 runners in scoring position. You look to make a change here. You can see the attempt by Nader was all about getting to second base. Once you got that opportunity to get to second base, now it's about putting the big stick in. Somebody who can create an RBI. You've got 2 outs here.
Senior Kendall Peterson, 333. Hitter on the year, 8 runs batted in. 24 at-bats. 8 hits, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 extra base hit. It's a double.
Grace Nito has not gotten a hit in her last 8 games. So decision to put Peterson in here makes a lot of sense. Peterson in her last 8 games batting .250. Had 5 opportunities at the plate to pinch hit during that time.
1-1 count. Undercut is that ball. Gonzalez there to make the grab for our first time in the tournament. What do you see in the emotions you're feeling in your dugout from your team?
I'm really proud of them. I think they're competing really well. They're, they're locked in. I don't feel like they're overly nervous, and they're just competing like they have all year. So I'm proud of them.
Coach, your defense is keeping the team in this game. What do you have to do offensively to change the score?
Yeah, I think we just have to pick up that changeup a little bit earlier, right? But man, it's good. She's a great pitcher. She's doing a great job, and we've just gotta find a way to scratch a couple across.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thank you. They're from a softball family. Dad, Jerry Glasgow, you may recognize the name. Okay.
He's all right.
Louisiana.
He's putting up a battle, I'm sure, in his regional right now.
Leading off the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, we had a great conversation with Tara about that, the resource she has in her father and how to lean on one another. It's not just a one direction, in spite of the experience that Dad has and years in the game, but call to talk ball and strategy, all sorts of different things.
Yeah, I thought my favorite part about what she said was I can call him at, I have a head coach, a high-level head coach that I can call at 10 o'clock at night if I need to get feedback or vent or whatever it may be.
And more so than anything, has to pick up your call.
Has to.
Because he doesn't know.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
He doesn't know why you're calling. In which capacity is it?
But I think even more than just getting the feedback now is the knowledge that family has in the sport of softball. There's a bunt that just kind of rolls far enough in front of the plate. Rudd does a good job getting out from behind the plate and making a quick out.
So Makia, the first out, is Gonzalez, the batter at the plate now for EIU. Love what she said, being proud of her team, and she told us also about conversation with Olivia Price in the recruiting process and Price's father, what the expectation was, and that Tara had said, hey, we want to be in the postseason. That's the goal. Well, your daughter is here, and here they are in the postseason.
Yeah, I think it's a great step in the right direction for what EIU's looking to do, and the program and culture they're looking to build is being a postseason team.
Louisiana is up 5-0, as you inquired. Playing Omaha. Omaha, we showed you earlier, another first-time entrant into the NCAA tournament. It's down Baton Rouge. LSU, you'll see them in action later on SEC Network against Prairie View. Louisiana up over Omaha. Trying to advance that all-important opening round game for the 4 teams in the regional round. Just to give yourself some breathing room, and hey, if we win our opener, we're 2 wins away from going to supers. Makes life a lot easier.
And no doubt about it. Just talking about that regional. In the LSU regional, Louisiana's playing. Louisiana's upset LSU when they've been a host 3 times. 2008, 2010, 2013. You want to talk about a challenging regional. I'm sure LSU's looking at Louisiana in their region. The moment that name popped up, they got a little nervous.
Aaron Henke singled, advanced to third, first time up. Yeah, one of the things, to your point, that we've seen kind of dwindle other aspects of NCAA sports with conference realignment, it's that regionality, and within regionals of NCAA softball still having things like that. What we had talked about earlier with Miami and Kentucky, potential of knowing even before the season started that, hey, when, not if, when we advance to the NCAA tournament, we know we have a pretty good idea as to who we're going to play.
Yeah, and I think there's advantages to that, but at the same time, you know, for teams that are hitting a buzzsaw of a team that they just can't beat every year, that's a harder challenge too.
It's a challenge coming in to face Danielle Williams in Northwestern.
8, Skylar Schellmeyer.
Who can advance out of this regional? Northwestern wanting to protect their home turf. Tyler Denning, 2-time All-American, national champ, Hall of Famer. Not myself. That would be Kenny Ritter.
Top of the lineup here in the 5th. I think this is, you know, even just for the continuation of this regional, an opportunity as both of these teams are going to be at the top of the lineup here. This bottom of this inning and the top of the next to do something and really step up as they get through their lineups and make their adjustments so that they're able to push more runs across, because the 2-0 ball game, way too close for anybody's liking.
Yeah, I would say the story of this game thus far has been the circle for both teams. It's been Price and how she's dealt to Northwestern. And Williams, obviously, her excellent effort in the circle as the counterpart. But how about for Price? Price had come in, and you could just tell she's gained her confidence in the circle like she gained her confidence when she talked to us yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I think she has been great in the circle, and she's just finding a way to deliver a pitch. You're not asking her to do anything more than what she's capable of. Her changeup is fooling batters. That's all you can ask for on a changeup, to introduce, to make your fastball look better.
Helps too, and you get a little assistance from your defense. It was that duo that guided us through the team and what they've done so far this year. How about the play over at third?
Schellmeyer just lining it directly to Grover, making a quick out, and you put the ball in play hard. We saw a little bit of Kentucky do this with Miami in the last game, was that when they hit the ball hard, it tended to go straight to somebody, ultimately relying on the long ball to get their win. And we've seen 1 home run here from Northwestern already. But if you've got a defense that's making good plays, sometimes you have to rely on that long ball.
The home run from the first year, Kansas Robinson. We'll take you through what you see on the swing.
Out. This was a pitch that was just too up in the heart of the zone, kind of in her wheelhouse. She got all of it and lifted it over the fence. You can see the difference there between that pitch that's just a little bit lower in the strike zone versus the one that she hit out of the park. When a batter sees the pitch that they want to attack, if they can get on top of it when it's up in that zone, that's when you can send it yard.
Put some barrel into that ball, but over towards the concessions promenade. located in the arena. I did secure the hot dog to eat.
Good taste of the town?
Got a little snack. Not from the tailgaters, or Northwestern, or any tailgaters. If you're out there and you would like to feed us with hot dogs at any point,
we will welcome food.
We will welcome the hot dogs. Especially tomorrow, yes.
3 games.
Yeah, triple header tomorrow.
We need a couple meals then. Couple hot dogs.
Just set up a grill right outside the door here. High into the infield sky. Gonzalez takes it from short. Out number 2. This one has a similar tempo too to game number 1. Just kind of lulling you into the rhythm of the pitchers, and the pitchers working. Wasn't until late that Kentucky found their offensive groove, and it wasn't long rally stringing hits together. It was the long ball.
Yeah, and Williams, you know, obviously kind of the standout pitcher here in this regional, but not a regional that I would have expected to be more of a pitcher's duel than this one. And obviously Kentucky opened it up there in the last couple of innings, and you feel like Northwestern's maybe knocking on the door a little bit, but credit to Olivia Price in the circle for just doing the job.
Yeah, as you try to come through each regional and find what's the dominant storyline. Some are big hitting regionals, some are historic that you have teams that have faced off against one another. I think every team within this one, there isn't a common thread. There is some shared experience having played one another, but different stories. Northwestern being the veteran group, a lot of experience, having been to the Women's College World Series. Kentucky battle-tested in the SEC. Both Northwestern and Kentucky played some of the toughest schedules in the country, so they've seen quality opponents for EIU. It's first time ever, uncharted waters, new ground. Heard Coach Archibald talking about how proud she is of this team and just what she's seen thus far in these nearly 5 innings. And then for Miami, Ohio, they've been to 3 consecutive NCAA tournaments, but good enough are they to break through and win a regional? Had hung tight with Kentucky for the majority of that game. Take a look at the last pitch.
A 3-1 count. This pitch, not automatic, but I do think it cuts that corner. Jordan Rudd did not think so, but it lived right on that corner. All you have to do is have a part of that ball in that strike zone. But to your point about this region, Tyler, I agree with you. I think you got an offensive group in Miami. You've got a little bit of seniority there, a little bit of veteran leadership there. They play together. But every single one of them, when you talk with these teams, their expectation of how this region's going to go, they all want to win. There's that, you know, instant moment of it's about the next game, about the next pitch. But they all have their sights set a little bit differently on how to achieve it and how to get to that next level.
They're scouting. That's what they're doing on the. They're on 643 on the mobile app. Yeah, or watching. They're on the ESPN app. Maybe they're watching us.
7 innings live.
Yeah. 3-2, 2 out. Space is empty. I will say I've been very impressed with Price, whom we had talked to and what she had said yesterday coming in, and knowing there was a little bit of nerves, but what she's done thus far.
Coach Archibald talked about her she got to a point where she got mad when she was getting hit one time in practice. And that was the moment she realized she wanted to be a pitcher, that she was committed to throwing good pitches and competing in the circle. She lets that one get away from her, and Rudd gets the walk. But there is that moment where, you know, you can be put in the circle and you can be super athletic and just throw well, and then you want to compete. That one just missing. Too far inside. Good eye by Jordan Rudd. And once you get to that point where all you want is the ball and all you want to do is throw, that's when you become a winner. This is somebody who used to hit and play outfield and is now just pitching, choosing not to hit, and would rather be in the circle pitching.
Katie's 1 for 2. The RBI was in the first inning to bring home Shellmeyer. Wind has picked up a little bit about the last 10 minutes.
That's what you know in this park, the wind can blow in a lot of different directions. You get the wind off the lake. It can change at any given moment.
Ball close enough to the dugout to play. Coach is fired up. Grover makes the grab for out number 3. 2-0 it stands after 5.
You can't ask for more than your pitcher in the circle. And the strike called on that first pitch.
See the line for Williams: 3 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts. Robinson has the solo home run. That backed up the run that was scored in the top of the first inning, but both pitchers have settled in. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Williams. 4-batter inning in the third. So it's been just 10 to the plate across the last 3 innings. The outs, beginning to dwindle for the Panthers of EIU.
Yeah, and Williams seems to me, seemingly getting stronger, not missing her pitches over the zone. You see that changeup that has gotten Pritchard all day long.
Second strikeout of Pritchard, 9th strikeout of the day for Danielle Williams.
You can see the spin, and the reason why this changeup is difficult is not only the change of speeds, but how it tumbles. It has a little bit of a drop to it. Sometimes it can spin a little bit left or right. So it's not always just a flat changeup that's coming in. So even when you time it and slow your barrel down, you still have to contend with the movement of the pitch, which makes it that much better. And sometimes when you just can't make that adjustment to sit change, it can eat you.
Grover, the fabulous freshman, OVC Freshman of the Year. Led the conference in freshman average, 5th amongst all players. Had that nice catch to end the last half, ranging over towards her dugout that had her head coach fired up. And she get the bats going, stepped in for a moment. Shellmeyer in center, but she knows how the wind plays here at home.
Shellmeyer, one of those seasoned veterans there in the field. It's made plays look easy. That one easily goes back and just makes the quick out.
Rachel Kaufman.
Grover finally got her bat on the ball. Has been kind of lifting, popping the ball up all day long.
Rachel Kaufman struck out in both the first and the third innings. Kentucky awaiting the winner of this one. Will it be Wildcats versus Wildcats, Northwestern versus Kentucky? Begin our day tomorrow. See the pitch breakdown, 75 total thus far as Kentucky gets their scout on.
And the scouting report right now is you got to find a way to sit change. If you don't sit change, what do you look to attack before you see a change? And that has been something that in Danielle Williams' career, not many teams have been great at figuring out.
On the ground, 2 second, another 1, 2, 3 inning for Williams. Third consecutive. Northwestern to the plate, big. Right here with you.
I like the way you think, partner.
Wildcats, number 31.
Kentucky awaits the winner of this one. Wildcats victorious by virtue of a run rule victory that they cranked up right around this time. Earlier today against Miami, Ohio. Does Northwestern have some flair in their bats? Just 2 runs on the board. Cochran out on the ground both times. First time was to the pitcher, second time to second.
And Price has such a smooth pitching motion that in a lot of cases when she releases, it comes off her hand on her snap quicker than her body speed, seemingly throwing off Northwestern just a little bit. Cochran, solid hitter. And struggling to kind of catch up with it, but you can see how she takes her time, gets out there, and just releases nice and smooth. And when she goes to release, she just really pops it off her wrist snap.
That ball was foul. Cochran, career .307 hitter in the NCAA tournament. Coming into today, had 62 at-bats, 19 hits. Part of that 5th-year class. Nelson, Rudd, Shellmeyer, Williams. And part of 171 wins, 66 losses, 89 Big Ten wins. In the top 10 amongst all the players in the program for career starts with 233. Too much backspin on that one. Out at short.
Number 9, Enjoy.
You can see Kentucky already won it. Game 1 in our bracket. Northwestern leading here in this one. Loser of this game will go on to play Miami. Winner to Kentucky.
Noon is when we will start with the 1-0 game. Kentucky against whom? Were it to hold like this, it would be Northwestern. As Coach Kumar, aka 2K of Miami, Ohio, looking on as scouts who may be her opponent. Will she try to have to figure out Price? Is Price?
This was just like a speed thing to me. It kind of blew past Zidak on her timing, just made a late decision to take a swing. But all day long for Price, her pitches have kind of been getting on these batters maybe a little bit quicker than they think it's coming.
Third strikeout of the contest for Olivia Price.
This is the best part about regionals, that you have analytics and you can scout, but it's different than scouting in a regular season. So you have less to go on, less time to prep for it. And then sometimes because of that, it evens the playing field a little bit more than you would when you have a 3-game series against one team and all you have to do is focus on the pitchers that they have. And I think you're seeing that a little bit, that we're seeing some closer games or taking some more time to get into the game.
Don't think a lot of sleep for support staff, assistant coaches, your scouts, volunteer assistants. Can be looking at a lot of spray charts like you've had pulled up,
yep,
and tendencies, and trying to build the best plan of attack on quick turnaround.
No, that, but doing all that while trying to focus on yourself and knowing that you have some weaknesses that you need to work on and focus on those as well. Trying to prep them in their one practice before the regional for potentially 3 teams that they'll play.
Price continuing to look good. The tag applied for Nelson. Turn to OKC. 3 more outs. They plant their foot on the first step of that journey in the postseason. Set up a matchup tomorrow against Kentucky. Riley Dittmar coming in. Pinch hit for Milkowski. 4th spot in the order for the Panthers, down to their final 3 outs here in the top of the 7th inning tomorrow. We will get started at noon. Winner's portion of the bracket. Winner of that game advances on to Sunday, and the potential to win 1 game and be on to next weekend. Northwestern 2 outs away.
Milkowski, who was just hit for their 2 Ks, really a victim of the changeup that Williams has thrown and hasn't been able to really answer back. So smart decision to put Dittmar in, put the bat on the ball.
Saplinski on the day single, that was in the 2nd, then flew out to left field, that in the 4th.
Bat for the Panthers, number 17, Amber Saplinski.
Just down that foul line. See the smile on Williams' face will never show a whole lot of emotion other than that. Just does the job, just focuses on what has to get done. I've seen Saplinski, one of the hits there in the 2nd inning, find a way to get her bat on the ball. Has been seeing the ball maybe a little bit better than some of her teammates. And now having to fight on an even count with 2 strikes. But has done a good job getting her barrel through the zone and connecting with the pitches.
Count full, bases empty. Fouled off.
Definitely on it, and Williams has not thrown a changeup so far to Saplinski in this at bat. She follows that one straight back, showing her timing. She's on time.
And she comes back with the changeup and sits down Saplinski. Strikeout, number 10, double digits.
And that's exactly what I would have done. You throw the fast stuff, you get her time and on time, and then go with that changeup. You can see the look all over Saplinski's face. got her the moment it came out of her hands.
Number 23, Morgan Lewis.
Lewis today singled, second inning, flew out to center field in the fourth. This one to first, and the Wildcats of Northwestern will face off against the Wildcats of Kentucky tomorrow at noon here at the J for a spot in Sunday's final.
I think just a solid performance from Danielle Williams in that circle.
Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect